And top out. You will not be able to lose yourself on tag and skip out for being during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. For the win, the win, for the win, the win. To the people of Minnesota, the people cried out, I can't breathe. From New York City to the streets of Atlanta, the people just protest. I can't breathe. For the win, the win. For the win, the win. The revolution, the revolution.
All right, good afternoon, people. Good, not good afternoon, good evening, good people. This is Eric from Winning Strategies Dads for the Win. And yes, you hear my voice again here at WMEG. I am back here and I'm going to share some things with you. However, like before we start the show, I gotta give praises and give thanks to the Most High. Oh, Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing me to come on to just be an inspiration and to be a guide to some of those fathers who want to learn how to be in their children's life like they used to be, like they want to be, but they are held from doing so. Thank you for allowing me to be that voice that I want to be for them because I've been through it. I want to share with them how to get past it. It's not going to be an easy battle, but with you you can make it easy for them because they have to learn how to turn to you to keep their head up. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Now, what I want to talk to you about this evening is called the Fatherhood Fairness Rally in Annapolis. All right, the Fatherhood Fairness Rally in Annapolis. Also, I want to talk to you about just coming back on the radio show and just being here to allow you to get what we're passing on to you so you can, I'll say, not be shafted half the time. Well, I just say half the time, not be shafted by attorneys or those other places. All right. No, we're not attorneys. However, we've been through the system and the fathers that we've dealt with have had success. And all we do is just share with them where to go and just get things done on their own terms. Okay? It's something when you put in to see your child, however, but it's even better when you put the paperwork together. Okay? You go through, you do your research, and you are there putting everything down on paper, you're looking it up, and you're saying, wow, I did this. I put this together. I did this. Okay. And sometimes you have somebody look over it, but you're not having somebody do it for you and not always putting in, I'll say, the pleading, as they call it, what they think and not what you say. All right. So, yes, winning strategies wants to be that inspiration, wants to do that for you. All right. Now, talk about the rally, the Fatherhood Fairness Rally in Annapolis on January the 26th. Winning Strategies, Fatherhood, the Courts and Custody has, I'll say, submitted an application to uh, demonstrate, okay, peacefully outside the House of Delegates, where the family law delegates work. Okay, We want to go down there. We want to share with them how the biasness has to stop. We want to go down there. We want to share with them how things need to be changed that's going to work in a father's behalf. We want to go down there and share with them. We don't want what happened in Washington County, Maryland, to happen in another jurisdiction in the state of Maryland or anywhere else throughout the United States. What I'm talking about, how the father in Washington County filed for divorce, and in his pleading, he was to talk about how he wanted to be in the life of his child or his children. Okay? Now, I'm really at a loss for this because if I file for custody and divorce from my spouse, I'm thinking I'm going to get fairness. Nah. That man was stripped of almost everything. He was stripped of almost everything. All right. And he was so upset, he found out where the judge lived and shot the judge in his driveway. Fathers deal with this on a constant. Okay. They deal with this biasness on a constant. We had we had fathers trying to make things right for themselves. However, the judges, the magistrates here in Maryland say think otherwise. Well, they do things differently. You're not going to have access to your child or your children like you want. You're only going to have that access when we think you should have it. And that ain't right. I know I'm not speaking proper English when I say ain't. However, but that it is what it is. It's not right. Fathers are tired. Fathers are battled, bruised for no reason. Now, if there are any women groups out there that really feel as though fathers should have access to their children as much as the mother, we want you to come on and go down there with us. We were already set to rent a van or two. Now, I'm quite sure the board would okay if we got a big bus, if we have that many people who will be willing to go down there. We're going to pay for the transportation and we're going to take you down and bring you back. How are we going to do this? Don't forget, winning strategies, we volunteer or we do fundraisers at the Raven Stadium, okay, where we operate a Papa John stand. And from the money that we generate from the Papa John stand, we use that for the nonprofit. Okay, we've been saving up because we knew this was coming. Okay, we want to have education classes on how to help fathers register and vote for bills that are against fatherhood. We want to show them how to vote for bills that are for fatherhood. We even want to show them how to become involved in the process by even giving testimony. All right. Winning Strategy started giving testimony in Annapolis in 2018 before COVID kicked in. We would go down there, we would advocate for bills that were for fathers, and for those that the bills that weren't for fathers, we said no. Now, we would give you the fathers and those mothers and those aunts and uncles who want to do this. We will give you the education so you could vote. So we have the rally in Annapolis for the upcoming legislative session. Okay, that's on the 26th of this month. We want to also give you the education that you need so you can vote for the bills, vote against bills, and even ask your representative, your state delegate, or your state senator to put in a bill that would help. Now, I'm going to get in later how we can play this, okay? Because sometimes they play us, okay? Let's be real. Sometimes they play us. In winning strategies, Dads for the Win wants to stop the game plan. Why do we want to stop the game plan? Because it does nothing for our livelihood of seeing and being involved in our children's lives. It does nothing for us. We're tired of all this smoke that they're doing. We're tired of all this lip service. All right. If you can't support or you can't write a bill that's going to be for us, you can at least support a bill that has the best interest of the child in it. And we want to tell those legislatures that this year. Fathers have not been in a fight as much. All right. We want to have fathers in that fight. We want to have fathers there. We want to have fathers ready to share their opinions. We want fathers to share their feelings. We want fathers to share their thoughts on how we believe everything should go. Now, throughout the legislative session, winning strategies will be monitoring the bills and sessions that fathers can get involved with, or fathers can take a just write in, or fathers and mothers and family members, period, can take a part of and just voice their opinion. Okay, so we're going to be monitoring that. How are we going to monitor it? We're going to register for when the bills come up. We're going to share them with the audience or the people on Facebook, YouTube, okay? And we're going to give you an opportunity to share your thoughts on it. We're going to give you an opportunity to weigh in on it. All right? So let me know. All right? So I can help you start this whole process. Let us know what we can do to support you further. All right? We cannot we cannot make things right for fathers if we don't get enough support for fathers to want to make things happen. Plain and simple. We can't. Fathers, mothers, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, whomever have to be willing to put in that work to help us. And I believe some of them are ready to put in that work to help us. Only thing we have to do is be there to support them, to show them, and to be there to walk with them step by step throughout this legislative session. Yes, I have decided, as a representative for Winning Strategies, I have decided to take a part of as much as I can to help fathers. There's a meeting coming up that's sponsored by the Maryland Nonprofits Association, which is called Legislative Day, which is on Monday. All right. And one of the biggest issues that I have seen when I look at what's being presented, when I see the funding that's coming down the pipe for the legislator and how they are to be divvying out the money, I don't see any programs out there for family issues to help fathers. I don't see any money allocated for helping fathers. I don't see any money allocated to helping children get back into the lives of fathers. This is what we mean when we say we want to put in, we want to have those legislatures put in bills that's going to help the family unit. If you can't help the family, then why are you sitting in that seat in Annapolis, legislators? Fathers are tired of being treated like trash. Fathers are tired of being treated like they don't matter. Winning Strategies, Fatherhood, the Courts and Custody is here to allow you to get that knowledge to help not only your situation, but to help other fathers' situation. We can only do this if we have those fathers who are willing to step up. We have those mothers who are willing to say, hey, you're doing fathers wrong. If we have those grandparents that say, hey, my son needs to be in the life of his child or his children more. And even when he's in the life of his child or his children more, I get to see my grandchild. Because truth be told, when they restrict the access of the fathers, they restrict the access of the grandparents too. And that ain't right. My mother, before she passed, my son's mother was evil enough to keep my son away from her. Okay? She was evil enough to keep him away. Now, it's 2024. And guess what? If I put in the paperwork to take her back to court because she has kept my son away from me for far too long, from my family for far too long, then guess what? I'm going to get my just desserts. My family going to get their just desserts. And I want every father to get their just desserts of being able to see their child or their children like they want. Now, we're only going to spend, I say, no more than 2 hours in Annapolis. No more. Okay, that's all they're going to give us. Okay, 2 hours. So that means at 10 o'clock, we're going to start to go down there. By 10:45, we want to start to be lined up. with the banner Fatherhood Fairness 2024. We want to have fathers who are willing to speak. We want to have those grandparents that are willing to speak. We want to have those family members that are willing to speak. And remember, the transportation is free. Winning Strategies, Fatherhood, the Courts, and Custody will get the transportation down there for us. Only thing you have to be willing to do is just come on board, get on the bus so we can share what we feel as though is right. And yes, I'm going to tell you straight up, there are delegates who I have on my radar right now that I want to bring things to the attention to. Okay. And just for this conversation right now today, I'm going to let you know a few of them. Mr. Bendari, Harry Bendari, out in Baltimore County, who shafted us on an interview, I'm going to take it to him. I want to ask him why did he choose to shaft us like he did. I want to ask Delegate Quee to put in that bill again that she had to limit the term limits for judges. Judges in Maryland get 15 years. We feel as though judges need to be voted back in like the president, like the governor. They're not higher than them. So they should have to basically fight for their right to have their seat back. So, Delegate Quee, we want you to put that bill in again. All right? Delegate Robin Grammer of Baltimore County in Essex area, you spoke about um, the juvenile crime in school systems and what's going on, and you are an advocate for it. How come I haven't seen any bills presented by you or supported by you for fatherhood fairness? Delegate Metzger, I want to thank you for putting forth um, the Fatherhood Fairness Act. I did vote for that bill. I did give testimony on that bill. Okay, for winning strategies. All right. There are a lot of other delegates that we want to take it to. We want to take our concerns to them. Winning Strategies has a meeting with a few delegates in January before the session begins. We have a meeting next week. Okay. After the session on Monday, we have a meeting on Tuesday. Okay. We have a meeting with um, Johnson Pinher Helmick. I hope I pronounced that right. Okay. To talk about a comprehensive program or a bill that we want to be presented. There are delegates who we took our concerns to, but they said, well, hey, I really don't sit on that committee. I sit on another committee. However, you have a voice with them. You can say, well, hey, this seems like a bill that I feel as though you should support or you can present. Everybody gets to vote. That bill has to make it out of committee. Okay. If it makes it out of committee, I believe everybody has to vote on it. So that means even though you don't sit on that committee, you can still give a vote on it if it makes it out of the committee. Now, back to the fathers and getting them involved. If you are really, really ready to talk about how you want to be in the life or the lives of your children, then we hope you will reach out to us here at Winning Strategies so we can assist you. I give out my cell phone number every time we do a live, okay? I give out my cell phone number every time I post when it's concerning children, when it's concerning fathers doing the right thing or having access. I give out my cell number to reach out to me, okay? I give out the email address for y'all to reach out to me. We have to stop thinking, fathers, and I'm going to repeat myself. We have to stop thinking, fathers, that everything is going to be handed to us. It's not. They don't give it to us because we don't speak up about it. They're not going to offer it to you. I am happy to say I have been blessed by the Most High to get up and to do this on a constant, not because I miss it, not because I need something to do. It's because I know fathers want to be there with their child or their children more than they have been. I don't know how many fathers right now are willing to say, I want the proper access. I want the proper fairness to my child, to my children that I deserve. You can get it. Just speak up about it. You can get it. Let us help you put your plan together. You can get it by being a voice of reason. They're not going to give you anything. You have to show them that you want it. You have to show them that, hey, I need access to my child or my children just like the mother has. And I'm not trying to go off on a tangent this evening. Okay. I'm really not. There are a lot of things that can be talked about, there are a lot of things that can be shared. But the most important thing that I want to be shared right now today is to talk about fathers, mothers, grandparents, other family members getting involved in the fight. Getting involved in the fight that's going to help us, that's going to help the process of fathers having equal access to our children. Fathers being able to say, well, hey, she's violated this court order and don't have to worry about the mother not being reprimanded by the courts. Okay, you don't want to reprimand her, but you'll reprimand me off of an allegation. And we have factual situations because she hasn't given us the access to our children or the child like she wants. We have actual factual information. all you have off of her is an allegation that some most of the time is proven wrong. So let's talk about it. All right. If we have that information that's factual, don't you think that the judges and the magistrates need to hold her accountable by stripping her of her rights? Not all of them. I mean, I'm gonna tell you you can look at it to your situation and you make that decision because you have 30 days before you go to court to say you want to put in, you feel as though you need to amend what you put in because you just thought about something. If she violated your rights, don't you feel as though she should be reprimanded by spending some time in jail on the weekends while you have access to your child or your children? You have your child or your children for the weekend, and she's thinking about what she did from keeping them away from you for more than 6 months. Let her sit in jail for the weekend. Y'all say it's being harsh. No, it's not. The harshness is a father having to deal with this on a constant basis. Not a father, but fathers. I'm talking because that's what I did. That's what every father can do. They're ready to strip us. They're ready to take our rights from us to access to our children. Fathers, come on. Sometimes we go to work and we are so built up with rage, we give it to our coworkers who don't even need it, who don't even deserve it, because we got so much rage in us because they've kept our children from us. How about not having that rage? How about just being able to share that she's wronged me? I'm tired of her taking my custody rights away. So, how about you actually sticking to what a vow or a contempt order is about? Do you want to impose jail time? Do you think jail time should be imposed? Is that box at the bottom? And you say yes, and you will say why you think jail time should be imposed? Because she has violated my rights to access of my child or my children. And don't forget, the roles can be reversed because I know some mothers, I really do. I know some mothers that are going through this right now from the father. Come on, January 26th. January 26th. That's all I need you to put into your head. January 26th. January 26th. January 26th. If we get at least, and you saw, or you haven't seen, but if you look online on Facebook on Winning Strategies or Frederick Cornell Douglas, you'll see the paper, Cornell West Douglas, you'll see the paper that we use to um, put in for the permit. We said how many would be there. We said between 12 and 25. I mean, 20 and 25. If we had more, that would be the best. Are you willing to go down there? Are you willing to put up that fight? Are you willing to be a part of the answer that's been get that has been escaping fathers throughout the last 7 years, probably longer, but I'm gonna just count for 7, and that's why that issue that escapes the fathers is why can't I have the access to my child or my children like I want? And it all boils down to courts not upholding the rights. It boils down to judges not being able to stick to their guns. It boils down to just treating fathers like they're trash. And basically, I believe that that situation that happened in Washington County was the catalyst for things to change in the state of Maryland and for the state of Maryland to be that model state that actually takes care of the fathers as well as it takes care of the mothers. So you have you have me, you have Norman, you have other advocates that are out here willing to share the needed information to help fathers gain the access and gain the rights to their child like they need. You can look up Norman's page at the Norman Nick Show on YouTube. Norman and I work together. You'll see the podcast that we did. Okay, he's there to work with you. He's there to give you just as much knowledge and information that I do. You just have to be willing to apply all his knowledge, like the knowledge that I'm trying to give to you, that I want you to be privy to. If you're willing, if you want to take a hold of this, if you feel as though you have something to share, if you feel as though your rights have been violated, then basically we want you to be that voice come January 26th. We want you to share. We want you to come out. We want you to be there and just say, hey, it's our time. We need our children back in our lives. It's here. It's time. Do you want it or not? We can only put up the fight when we have the support of fathers who are willing to fight. Fathers, let's stop just thinking that it's going to work out on its own, and it's not. It's only going to work out when we bring it to their attention. Winning strategies, fatherhood, the courts and custody want to bring it to their doorstep on January the 26th. We want you to come out and be willing to share everything about how you feel as though they're wrong. They have been wrong. David, I want you to come. Bring Melissa with you. Amari, I want you to come and talk about how you had to fight for full custody for your daughter. Joe, I want you to come and talk about how you had to fight for the access and the custody to your two children and how she wasn't always fair. Rashad, we need you to come out and talk. If you watch the clip that was just done when we talked to Norman, Rashad's interview was in that. Rashad has gone through the same thing that a lot of other fathers have gone through. He filed, but the magistrate never adhered to anything that he wanted. She had the audacity to put in there that he shouldn't have access. For what reason? He never do anything wrong. There are a lot of other fathers that have gone through this situation or gone through a situation like this and need the support from us so they can continue to go on. We want to help to change the laws that's out here that limit a father's access unjustly for no apparent reason. Oh, there is an apparent reason, okay? So these agencies, the state agencies included, can continue to pilfer the money, the federal money that comes down that should be spent on family preservation. The family meaning mother, father, and children involved, not just the mother. It has to stop. It has to change. It will only stop and only change once we bring light to it to say that, hey, we need for this to stop. I don't mind coming to do what I do here. I don't mind putting up that fight. I don't mind going to the Ravens game, volunteering so they could offer us a donation so we can do things for the fathers and the mothers and the grandparents by going to Annapolis like we plan to do. But I'm just not going to do it, or my other people aren't going to be willing to do it if nobody's going to be willing to come out and share with us, sharing the battle with us. We know you'll be there if we said, "Hey, this is how you can get the access to your child. We're gonna give it to you for free." Only thing we want is your time. I'm sorry if some fathers or people out there feel as though there are organizations that have been treating them wrong, that have don't have their best interests at heart. There are organizations out here that have a father best interest at heart, that has a mother's best interest at heart. And you know, the heart, the best interest that we have right now is for the children because that child needs to see that mother and that father on a constant and at least talk to the child, the mother or father. Y'all need to stop being petty. Y'all need to stop being petty. Fathers, just think about it. If we put this together now, by the time you go to court, you put this in your pleading and say, well, hey, I did a rally. I was a part of the rally that went to Annapolis to help with fatherhood fairness, to help me get access to the custody of my child, my children that I should have. That speaks volumes. But you got to be willing to put your foot out there. You got to be willing to stand up. You know, I can talk, I can go on, I can go on, I can go on, but I've given you enough for this evening to think about. All right. As here in Baltimore, as the Ravens prepare to play on Saturday afternoon against the Pittsburgh Steelers, okay, as other teams prepare to play, those fathers get to see their kids sometimes, okay, but I don't know, you know. Like I said, I can go on and on. I'm not going to try to think of something else to talk about. I've said what I wanted to talk about. I've expressed how I feel about it. I've shared what we can do. Now, you just have to be willing, man, woman enough to step up and help us do it. I told you the transportation is free. All right, let's get it. Rock, you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Everybody, it's been real. It's been fun. You know my cell phone number 443-768-8158. All right, winning strategies dot fcc@gmail.com if you need to reach me. This went out on YouTube, Facebook. Okay, y'all can reach me there. Say you want to be a part. You got people that want to be a part. That's fine. I'm here. We're here. Good night.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not celebrate. For the win. The win. For the win. The win.